العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى صحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So inshallah tonight we'll start new surah, Surah JINN, right? After we describe Surah Al-A'raf. Let me read first, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن وقالوا إنا سمعنا قرآنا عجبا يهدي إلى الرشد فآمنا به ولن نشرك بربنا أحدا وأنه تعالى جد ربنا ما اتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا وأنه كان يقول سفيهنا على الله شططا. So before we describe ayah by ayah, Brother Sham is there, Shamsuddin? Mubashir is there? Mubashir? Mubashir, are you there? Okay, Paul, can you read for me?
Beautiful speech. Of the JINN who embraced Islam after hearing the Quran. JINN also have different
Okay, I think your voice has a problem.
Sex.
Okay.
There are some Muslims.
Ustaz Joban, I can help.
Okay. Mr. Paul, I think you have problem with the voice. Okay.
I can help with him.
Okay, you can do it.
Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A beautiful speech of the jinn who embraced Islam after hearing the Quran.
Continue.
Jinn also have different religions and sects. There are some Muslim and some deviators from the truth. The reality of jinn. Mosques are built for the worship of Allah, so invoke no one else beside Him. Messengers do not have the power to harm or benefit anyone. His mission is just...
Yeah, everybody has faith. Okay, inshallah. So this is the major issue of the Surah JINN. So before we mention about the major issue, I think it's good also to talk about the jinn itself. Yeah, I think thank you very much. Everybody have problem with the voice. You can hear very good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have problem with the voice they come to. So anyway,
worship of Allah. Allah knows. I'm sorry. I think.
thank you very much. I think they have problem with your voice and the voice we just read also. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن فقالوا إنا سمعنا قرآنا عجبا. Yeah, Mubashir, can you read?
The surah gives assurance that the message of Allah will be accepted. It talks about some jinn, a hidden creation, who accepted the message and in this way gives a prediction that if the present people deny the message, then others, yet hidden, will accept this message.
Yeah. So before we describe this ayah, how this ayah was revealed, we call Asbabun Nuzul, I have two opinions on this. Number one is that Rasulullah SAW, remember when the da'wah in Makkah was stuck and people deny him. So he went to Taif, right? Hoping people at Taif will accept it, right? But they refused. Instead, they stoned him. On that time, the Jibril came and he saw two angels, the angel of the mountain, and asked Muhammad permission. They could smash them. And Muhammad said, no. Allahumma hadi qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide my people, those people. And also he said, I hope that their progeny will accept Islam. One of Tabi'in, he wrote, said, about 880 scholars come from Taif. This dua of Rasulullah. This during Tabi'in, maybe after that will be more. 880 scholars come from Taif, right? So then Rasulullah run until he come to a place, between Makkah and Taif. From Makkah to Taif was 75 kilometers. Right? He was sitting under the tree and he was making dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka dha'fa quwwati wa qillati hilami. Long dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It means, Ya Allah, I'm weak and people expel me, these people stone me, and I don't care as long as you're not angry at me. So in that moment, two things happened. Number one, a man, he saw him, Muhammad was in that situation, he was bleeding, he brought water and food. If you're hungry, you just eat it. Rasulullah, no. He said, what's your name? He said, my name Adas. Where you come from? From the city called Niwawa. Right? Oh, that's the city of my brother Yunus. Oh, do you know him? Yeah. He's prophet and prophets. Then have conversation and others become Muslim. Allah. Then Rasulullah eat. Yeah. The second one, the Rasulullah was reading Quran and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent jinn. Because the jinn, they have problem now. Every time he tried to go to the heaven, like shooting, like a fire, shoot them. So what's going on? So let me look around and find maybe this man. So jinn was listening, but Muhammad didn't know there was jinn was listening, right? And some ulama said the jinn sent every representative of them, chief of them, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who told Muhammad, is to entertain him. Muhammad is don't worry. If people, didn't accept you, there's another person accept you, right? So he said, "Qul uhiya ilayya," has been revealed to me. And istama nafaru min al-jinni.
Those things must be sorted.
I want a carbon ring.
Yeah. فَقَالُوا إِنَّا سَمِينَا قُرْآنًا عَجَبًا. Indeed, we have heard amazing Quran. Allah. So jinn was expected the Quran. So that's one story, right? Another story said, no, Rasulullah is going with his companion to market called Ukas. That was at night. Then Rasulullah prayed Maghrib, and then a group of jinn came, right? And this is the ayah that the ulama was referred in the Ukas. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ صرفنا إليك نفر من الجن يستمعون القرآن فلما حضروا قالوا أنصتوا فلما قضي ولوا إلى قومهم منذرين يا قومنا أجيبوا داعي الله وآمنوا به يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويجركم من عذاب أليم.
Recall when we dispatched towards you a number of jinn to listen to the Quran. When they came in its presence, they said, "Pay attention." Then, when it was concluded, they rushed to their people, warning them, "O our people, answer the caller to God and believe in Him, and He will forgive you your sins and will save you from a painful punishment."
No. So Allah, like Muhammad was, imagine his people, tried to expel him and people tried to stone him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like lead the group with jinn, to come to listen to the Quran. فَلَمَّا حَضَرُوهُ, when they, in the presence of Muhammad sallallahu قَالَ أَنْصِتُوا. Right? And then when they finish, they just call us, we, listen to the message. No, they came back to the people. قَالَ يَا قَوْمَنَا, oh my people, answer the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the jinn immediately make da'wah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah. Right? And he said, oh my people, answer to the call of God and believe in Him, and He will forgive you. Right? So this is the what you call the Asbab al-Nuzul. This ayah was revealed. And before we talk about the next ayah, right, from Surah Jinn, I think it's good to have a picture about what is jinn, right? Because a lot of people misunderstood something. The word jinn, something that hiding. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam, falamma janna, when it's dark, you don't see it at night. So therefore why the baby, in the woman, mother called Janin, because you can see it, right? So we have also the Arabic called Junnah, As-Sawmu Junnah. Fasting is a shield, because when you have shield, you can set inside. People made, what do you call, Majnoon, right? Because what? You can see his brain is lost, right? So also called Jannah, because Jannah surrounding by what? By the bushes, by the wall, right? So everything, Jim and Noon, something what? Hide. So that means the nature of jinn, right, is hiding. Yeah. Can you see jinn in his form? No. Except the Prophet and certain people, right? And the jinn was created from a fire, right? وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَّ مِنْ مَارِجٍ مِنْ نَارٍ. The fire smokeless, fire no smoke, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the angel from the light, human being from the clay, and jinn from the fire, right? So therefore, jinn is like energy, no shape, right? But jinn can transform into different type of shape. We'll talk about that, right? Yeah. So how to see jinn? Can you see jinn? No. Innahu yarakum wa qabiluhu min haythu la tarawnahum. They see you. And they asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah said, Tamanna, what do you want, jinn? Or said, I want to be able to see, but nobody can see us. But they did men opposite. We can see jinn, shaitan, but they cannot see us. Right? But Allah put opposite. If we cannot see jinn, what the shape of jinn? Nobody knows. Every culture they have different way to describe about jinn. right? In America, for example, jinn have horn, right? Yeah. And they have, yeah,
in a red color.
yeah. In China, different, everybody have, but everybody was so jinn is scary, right? It is true, jinn is scary. Shaitan is scary thing. Because in the Quran, when Allah described about the tree of Jahannam, right? Kana ru'usu shayatin. The head of the tree in Jahannam, like the head of Shaitan. Do you see Shaitan? No. But if you are a painter to draw Shaitan, who's the winner one? Who's the winner? The ugly one. And ask them to draw angel. Who's the winner? The handsome one. They didn't see angel, right? But there was people imagine. It is true, right? So the jinn can come in the shape of a snake. This is true in the Hadith al-Bukhari. One of Sahaba, he went home before joining the battle. Young men just get married. And then he saw his wife outside the door, outside the house, wearing the clothes not proper. The Arab have a gear. So he's going, how dare you outside and you're wearing this kind of clothes? When to hit her, he said, before you do anything, you go inside. And they went inside, he saw a big snake on his bed. Right? So he took his sword and they fought. Right? And both of them died. And then his wife, he mentioned this to Rasulullah. And she said, I don't know which one died first. The Rasulullah mentioned, in Medina, there's a lot of jinn Muslim. Jinn become Muslim, accepted Islam. Right? And also many of them, when they appear in the form of snake. So he said, when you come home, you see a snake in Medina, don't kill it. They said, I will shut them 3 times. If you don't leave, you can kill it. Right? Some of them 3 days, right? Yeah. So jinn can come in the form of snake. I remember when I was young, I tried to make wudu. Long time ago, the way they put place for wudu in the masjid, it's like pool, right? And then I saw snake come out. I told my father, no, this snake was making wudu. Right? Yeah. But anyway, when you see snake, you see how the 3 times. Sometimes they came in the shape or the form of dog, mostly black dog with red eyes. Sometimes cat, sometimes goat, sometimes a camel. Imam Malik, one day he was making tawaf. He saw a snake, was making tawaf. His student wanted to hit. He said, no, it's a snake. And one time he was have class, the snake came, everybody, his student was stood up. He said, sit down. It's jinn, want to learn. When Imam Malik going to Hajj, the jinn said, I would like to join with you. Yeah, but not in the form of snake, on a camel. And many jinn also like to resemble the camel, right? Sometimes jinn came in the form like just smoke, but sometimes jinn came in the form of human being. Like when the Quraysh had a meeting to kill Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So an old man from famous tribes, he came, and he's the one give idea. Just brings young people, everybody carries sword, and this from Shaitan. And also in the Battle of Badr, right? In the Battle of Badr, the Quraysh was worried. There's a group, from the tribe of Suraqah bin Malik. He worried if the battle happened, then Suraqah will take Makkah. So a jinn came in the front of Suraqah and said, don't worry. and he corrected, you will win. Right? فَلَمَّا طَرَعَتِ الْجَمْعَانِ. But when the jinn, the two group was meet one another, Muslim and non-Muslim, Shaitan said, Inni akhafullah. Inni alama taron. He said, I saw what you didn't see. What is he? He said, the angel. Right? So that means, so therefore in Islam there's nothing called ghost or demon. Right? My father died and I came home last night. That was his father. That was his Qarin. Jinn appeared in the form of your father. Something come maybe in a dream to look like your father or your mother. Yeah?
Some people they use jinn
Yeah.
to get him a news.
That's right.
So yeah, and then, yeah, I have a lot of stories.
Yeah. Do jinn eat? Yes. Jinn eat and drink, right? Have food.
Yeah.
So Rasulullah said, when you enter the house, say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Assalamu alaikum.
So
Right? Kufita wa wukita. We say that you are protected. If you enter the house, no Bismillah, no Assalamu alaikum, the jinn call his friend, come on then. We have free food. Right? So be careful. Even nobody there, but just say, just to take out the jinn. So what food of jinn? Whatever you eat, but also have special food. One of them was what? Bone. Right? And also like the stole of the camel and all this, the jinn like it. Right? So jinn, so one day when Rasulullah he was going to do number one, and asked for a stone. Somebody gave the bone. He said, no, this is jinn food. And also one day, Rasulullah companion, they was together, and then time for dinner, but Rasulullah didn't come. Like, where Rasulullah? The Sahaba have adab etiquette. You don't want to eat the food before Rasulullah. After midnight, Rasulullah came. So where were you? Said two group of jinn was fighting. They asked me to make peace between them. She asked Rasulullah to be judged. Right? Rasulullah judged them. Rasulullah then put the kafir jinn in the ocean and Muslim jinn in the mountain. Right? Because they have peace now, they make a party. The Sahaba said, they make party, yeah. And some Sahaba went there to see smoke still there cooking, but it's still of the bone. So is bone, yeah, that's their food. Yeah. But also at home, they eat your food. He said, the hadith said, don't eat with your left hand, because jinn, shaitan eat with the left one. Subhanallah, the kafir like to eat with the left, right? Right? Said, kul biyamini, eat with your right hand, and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
even if you enter the mosque, it's preferred to enter with your right leg.
Yeah, right. Food first when you enter the house. Also, jinn marry. Jinn marry, have family, and before also jinn die. Shaitan no die. Because Shaitan asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَأَنذِرْنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. But jinn died. But jinn have long life. A jinn came to Rasulullah, I was there when Allah opened the ocean. That means it was during Musa time. Right? Some of them said, I was there when the flood of Yunus, or Nuh alayhi salam. Right? Because Allah did not send a prophet jinn. The prophet is human being. We are higher than them. So therefore, during Nuh, they become Muslim by making shahada to Nuh alayhi salam. During Musa, during Isa, during Muhammad. So that means, I already follow Nuh now. When Muhammad came, you have to follow Muhammad. Right? And jinn die also. One of the proof the jinn die, the story that Sahaba killed snake, and it was jinn. Another story said one Sahaba, he was traveling and he saw a snake die, but smelled good. A special snake. So the Sahaba dig the land and buried the snake. And he heard the voice, where the voice? Oh, Sadaqa Rasulullah. The Sahaba said, what do you mean? we are jinn, he said. We just fought and I killed my brother. Right? So when we were with the Prophet Muhammad SAW, the Prophet told us that you're going to fight. You're going to fight. One of you going to die, and my companion going to bury it. Right? That's become true. Yeah. Can man marry jinn? Right? The ulama have two opinions. Some said no, some said yes. Because it said in the hadith, when you're going to have a relation with your wife, you have to make certain dua. Right? Ask Allah to protect us from shaitan. If not, shaitan will join also. Right? It has happened. Yes, he said happened. Yeah. I have many stories from many shuyukh. Right? A man was married with jinniya. No. And how did it happen? The relationship can be jinn transform into human beings, he become woman, or they have relationship in the dream, or they just have kind of feeling. But because Allah SWT said, وَمِنْ آيَاتِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ. Among Allah's sign, He created your partner from yourself. Because they are different entities. One story, when I was in Egypt, somebody married with jinn, and jinn was very jealous. So the man looked like crazy. When he's sitting down, there's a woman there. So the jinn pinched him. He just looked at any woman, even sometimes his sister, and they asked for divorce. So they went to the sheikh, and the sheikh had talked to the jinn, right? So anyway, jinn marry, have family, and also, they have nikah, they have, kunna toroid. We'll talk about this when it comes to tafsir. Yeah, the presence of jinn. Where the jinn stay mostly, right? Jinn, he like to stay in the places like restroom, yeah, or market. He like markets, right? Like the place they have, the light, like disco, nightclub, a place of ma'asi, the jinn like that, right? Or in the well, yeah.
Does jinn come to mosques?
Yeah. Okay. Jinn also, good jinn, they like to stay in the mosque or with the righteous men.
Okay.
My father, sometimes he went to the mosque like 3 o'clock, and then he going to do tahajjud, and then he saw like somebody making wudu. So he turned on the light. There's nobody there, but he can see the water, like people was making wudu.
Oh.
Yeah. So jinn sometimes like to join with the righteous people. So good jinn. Okay. Jinn also went to some jinn Christian. They like to stay in the church, right? Maybe that's Hindu.
Yeah.
And also jinn, whatever they live, they speak the language of where he lives. For example, here, he speak English.
Oh.
Yeah, something by traveling, because the Sheikh Amin, he used to deal with somebody possessed, so he would have to talk with the person, right? And then one day, a person was speaking Spanish. He could communicate, right? He had to find translator. When people possessed by jinn, the person will speak, right? There's not him, there's the jinn, right? The sheikh will know to talk to them, the jinn. So that means jinn speak whatever language that they live. Yeah.
There's an ayah that says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ.
Yeah.
I think create jinn and the humans, because they
have the same, yeah.
Same thing.
But jinn have speed. The jinn, that means Allah SWT give the jinn, for example, he can travel from here to Portland just 1 second.
Oh.
Right? So therefore, why Allah SWT, in Quran, something very interesting. Allah sometimes put jinn first and then man. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ. We created not jinn and human being. Because Allah created jinn first and then human being, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. And then he said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenged them in Surah Ar-Rahman, Ya ma'asral jinni wal insi in istata'tum. All the assembly of jinn and men, if you can able to go to the sky, get right to the moon, to the galaxies and all these, do it. Allah put jinn first, because jinn more capable. We will talk inshallah in Surah, jinn used to go up and listening to dialogue between Allah and the angel. And then they give to the people, right? So jinn have speed, very fast. Remember when Sulaiman alayhi salam asked who can bring the palace of Bilqis from Sabah, Yemen, to Palestine. وَقَالْ إِفْرِيتُ مِنَ الْجِنِّ Ifrit said, I can bring it, right? Yeah. So jinn have like this kind of power that Allah gives them. Jinn can fly, jinn can go to the ocean, right? When we talk about when Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam asked them to take the pearl from the ocean, for example, right? But also jinn have weakness. What Rasulullah said when you at night, he said close the window, right? And also close the door.
Turn off the lights.
Turn off the light, you will sleep. And then if you have food, cover the food. Right? That means jinn cannot open.
Water.
Right? So if jinn, for example, in the bottle, nobody open it, he will stay there. Right? So jinn have weakness. Right? Even in the Quran, also inna kayda shaytan kana dha'ifa. The temptation, the effort of jinn and shaitan is very weak. The only time become strong when we become weak. We have a lot of sin. Then the jinn will come to us. But if you are strong, no. Jinn very easy. Yeah. Some jinn, they scare with human being. You know, like Umar bin Khattab. Umar, if you go on one street, the shaitan will other street. Umar, right? That's how Umar, very powerful. Even during Ibn Taymiyyah have a class one day. Somebody was possessed. Right? Somebody came to Ibn Taymiyyah, somebody was screaming. I said, okay, take my sandal. So he went there, he saw like this. This is Ibn Taymiyyah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He said, when Imam Ahmad went to Basra, he said, jinn left. Imam Ahmad. So when you said, إِذَا خَافَ اللَّهَ أَخَافَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. When you feel Allah, everything is for you. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard there's when a sahir, he want to use a jinn to send him to someone. If the guy he do not pray usually, they're not gonna see him, but they can't hear their voice.
That's right.
If you pray like you completely like a full prayer.
You will talk about inshallah we'll talk about that when we come to about the how to deal with somebody possessed wrong. Yeah. Can jinn duplicate human being? Yes. Right? Only Rasulullah SAW. He said, Man ra'ani fil manam faqad ra'ani fil yaqadah. If you see me, the Prophet Muhammad said, if you see me in your dream, that means you see me like you are wake up. فَإِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَا يَتَمَثَّلُ بِي. Because shaitan cannot duplicate me. That means when we have dream with Rasulullah, this is Rasulullah. Right? That means shaitan can duplicate anybody. Can prepare like the sheikh, like you, like your father, right? And the jinn can be implicated. Right? Can people possessed by jinn? Yeah. They call mas in Arabic, mas. Jinn, can possess people if you went inside the body, sometimes 2-3 jinn, sometimes outside. And when people possessed by jinn, it's very miskin, it's very painful because he is like helpless, right? And most people possess, they become unhappy. Right? And you scary when see. And sometimes they have power. They can carry the table, can jump, can this and this and this. Yeah. So
buat itu nanti.
what you call, yeah. I have before, I have a cassette, a sheikh, he want to prove to us about what Rasulullah said about jinn, right? So somebody was possessed. His name was Abdullah, and the jinn, and the sheikh when talk to the jinn, no, imagine he's Abdullah, but his voice like woman. So what's your name? He said Murjana. So a Muslim, he said yes. He said, you know, if you're Muslim, it's a haram, you know, to bother a human being, because I love him. He said, Abdullah wants to get married with me. So this woman is jealous. So anyway, he said, and then he asked question, he said, what the most surah that you fear? He said, Surah Al-Baqarah. You know, Rasulullah said, any house, recite any Surah Al-Baqarah, jinn, shaitan will not enter. And what ayah he fear most? What ayah? Ayatul Kursi. Right? And then he asked many things, right? And one of the questions said, what food you eat? Say, whatever Abdullah eat. Right? Only if they have eat the, what do you call it? Upper water? Water?
Carrot.
Huh?
Carrot.
Carrot, yeah. Unless there's carrot, I don't eat. Yeah, you don't like the carrot. I have funny story. When I was in Olympia, most people from Cham, Cambodian, when they heard the story, they put carrot in their freezer. So jinn will not come. Right? Also, jinn have choice, right? Like human being, mukallaf. Right? So Allah SWT sent Muhammad SAW to men, also jinn. So therefore, in the Quran, for example, Ya ma'asharal jinni wal insi, in the judgment. All the assembly of jinn and men, alam ya'tikum rusulun, right? Isn't that a messenger come to you? Yaqussuna alaykum, he write to you, and warning you about this day. So it means the jinn also the same, you know, have to pray, have to fast, you know. So it means something maybe in Ramadan you are with jinn. Right? So here also, say if man and jinn, look at here, Allah put man first and then jinn, right? An ya'tu ala an ya'tu bimithli hadzal Quran. If you can bring like the Quran, right? Yeah. La ya'tuna bimithli, you won't be able to bring it. Walau kana ba'dun li ba'din, if even jinn and men work together to produce like Quran is impossible. So here Allah SWT put men first, because men more capable. When it comes to fly, jinn more capable. That's subhanAllah. So the Quran, which one they put first or no, it have the meaning. Yeah. So we talk again, inshallah, about jinn. That's the summary about the jinn, right? So now we'll discuss what did the conversation between jinn, right? Between jinn. Allah told the story to Muhammad SAW. After the listening, you know, the Quran and Muhammad SAW, the jinn have discussion. This is one of the among discussion, right? Yahdi ila rusdi fa'amanna bi walan nusrika bi rabbina ahada. Bashir?
It is true that the Quran guides to what is right and sensible, but the term sagacious also connotes maturity and wisdom that distinguishes right from wrong. The verse puts this response to the unbelievers in Mecca who used to listen to the Quran, but who would not believe in it.
So jinn came back to their people and said, we hear the amazing Quran. What will Quran do? Yahdi, is guide to the right course. Quran is the right goal. If you want the right path, follow Quran. Fa'aman Nabi. We just believe. So this ayah criticized Quraysh. Hey man, this jinn just listen one time and they believe. And you, 13 years, Muhammad in Makkah, you still deny it? Right? Wala nusika bihi bi rabbina ahada. Right? And we not associate with anybody. That means what? That means among jinn somebody do shirk. Among jinn what? So now, because the goal of Quran is to bring people to Tawheed. There's only one God. Right? So now realize that what you're doing is wrong. Yeah. وَأَنَّهُ تَعَالَى جَدُّ رَبِّنَا مَا اتَّخَذَ صَاحِبَةً وَلَا وَلَدًا. Read in translation.
And it teaches that exalted is the nobleness of our Lord. He has not taken a wife or a son. The verses uses here the Arabic word jad, attributing it to God. And this word connotes share, position, authority, and greatness. What is intended here is to impart a clear feeling of God's greatness and his being far above taking a wife or child for himself.
Yeah. So that means among the jinn have the same belief that God have wife, God have children, right? This is wrong, man, right? Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have wife, that means what? Your wife should be also powerful. Is the wife of God, right? And wife sometimes can control the husband. That's helpless God. And also children. You have children, that means what? Then you have grandchildren, all this. This is impossible to attribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, the jinn also focus to the Tawheed, the importance of belief the only one God, the one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ يَقُولُ سَفِيهُنَا عَلَى اللَّهِ شَطَطًا.
And that our foolish one, Iblis, has been saying about Allah an excessive transgression. This is a critical examination of what the jinn used to hear some of the foolish among them say. Those are the ones who did not believe in God's oneness and who alleged that he had a wife, a son, and partners. Now that they have heard the Quran, they realize this is all absolutely false.
Yeah. Human being as nature, almost they believe in something, right? Believe in nature. But sometimes they make wrong conclusion. If you got by somebody Hindu, believe in anything become God. Snake become God. Small insect become God. Right? Cow, imagine that. Right? Some people believe in like a mountain, Olympiad. They start from that. Right? Yeah. And now we call it shatoto, anything made of. And that's how Shaitan, able to. So therefore, why it is very important that to remove anything in your home that is called statue. Between Adam and Noah, people believe only one God. And then after 1,000 years, there is a great teacher among the people. Wadda, Suwa'a, Yahusa, all mentioned the name in the Quran. When the teacher died, he said, look, your teacher died. We're going to remind you now if you want to do something. What do you have to do? Shaitan said, make the statue. They're idols. So when you're going to do evil, no, that's my teacher. Good idea, right? Yeah. So they put the statue in their home, in the middle of the street. And it was effective, good. Every time they're going to lie, still, no. My teacher said, no, I cannot do that. But so Shaitan very patient. He doesn't worship them because people had Tawheed, right? What happened after that? When they died, they have children, right? Shaitan come to them. You know why your father was strong? He was rich because they worship this God. And they start worshiping them. Allah said, Nuh alayhi salam. And to change them, no need but 950 years. Not easy, right? Because something maybe you buy something and you put at home. For you, like decoration. This is from Thailand, this is from this. But maybe you die, your son said, oh, this is my dad bought this. Has to be have power in me. Right? So be careful. وَأَنَّا ظَنَنَّا أَن لَّن تَقُولَ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا.
And we had thought that mankind and the jinn would never speak about Allah a lie. Indeed, their perception of the enormity of lying about God is what qualified this group of jinn to immediately declare their belief when they listened to the Quran. It shows that their hearts and minds were free of deviation. When they heard the truth, they immediately realized it. They recognized it and submitted.
So this jinn was like the group of jinn. They didn't have any idea before. People would talk wrongly about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So I never think that people will lie about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But now they realize, right? But this ayah was recited Muhammad sallallahu to who? People in Makkah, to the Quraysh. So Allah was like, look, this is jinn. They just hear the Quran one time, they know the truth, right? And you still, have this kind of belief. Because even the Quraysh, when they asked, they said, why worship the idol made by your hand? I said, no, you not worship it. This is just intermediate. Yuqarribuna Zulfa. By worshipping this one, become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Yeah. وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ رِجَالٌ مِّنَ الْإِنسِ يَعُوذُونَ بِرِجَالٍ مِّنَ الْجِنِّ فَزَادُوهُمْ رَهَقًا.
And there were men from mankind who sought refuge in men from the jinn, so they only increased them in burden. Here, the jinn referred to what was widely accepted in pre-Islamic days in Arabian society, and which remains accepted in many other communities, claiming that the jinn exercised power on the earth and against humans. Indeed, it was thought that they were able to bring about benefit and cause harm to people. Only those who seek protection with God are saved from him. Whoever listens to him is listening to his own worst enemy who will not bring him any benefit. On the contrary, he will increase his problems.
So a group of men, human beings, sometimes they ask protection from what? From jinn. The Quraysh, when the Quraysh passed by like certain valley, they used to ask, oh, the chief of jinn, our shaitan, please protect us from your people. Yes, I mean? They ask protection from who? From the chief of jinn or shaitan. Do you get protection? Yeah. You know what I mean? So the chief said, hey, man, don't bother them, okay? This man, they ask for our protection. The jinn become what? Become more arrogant. Oh, okay. That means human beings too. They ask protection from us. Right? So, and also, this is considered what? Shirk. Right? In the hadith said when you enter the market, you say, ask Allah protection, not to the jinn. Right? No, unless opposite, the jinn ask your help. Like, many of the Greek scholars, like Imam Malik, for example, they have jinn. But the jinn become their khodam. The jinn become their servant. The jinn come to them. Ask what? For help. Right? And remember Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him to take care of the wealth in Baitul Mal. Rasulullah in Ramadan, they collected zakat and put it in one place and asked Abu Hurairah to be the security. At night, he about to sleep, a man came and did steal it. They took something food from the storage. He catch him. And the man said, please, I'm hungry. My family didn't eat for 3 days. He begging. I said, okay, don't do it again. And he left. He went to the masjid. And Rasulullah said, Abu Hurairah, what did you guys do last night? Rasulullah, yeah, he stole from the Baitul Mal, but he said he's in need, so I left him alone. Rasulullah said, he will come again tomorrow. Right? So Abu was waiting because Rasulullah said he'll come again. Right? Abu Hurairah was hiding. He came again. And he grabbed and stole again. Kept him. I will bring to Rasulullah now. Oh, please, I'm hungry. The man very, very smart, able to convince him. Okay, then do it again. I promise I will not do it again. So the next day he came to the masjid. Rasulullah asked again, what did your guest do? Rasulullah, he came again, and I feel sorry. He's poor and his family is hungry. So I let him go. He said, will come again. But now Abu Hurairah, he said, if he come again, I will hold him and bring to Rasulullah. So the third night, he did again, he cut him, and he begging, he said, no way. I'll bring you to Rasulullah. Okay, please, I will give you advice. So what advice? Please, before you sleep, read Surah Ayat Kursi. You'll be protected from shaitan. Before you sleep, read Ayat Kursi, you'll be protected from shaitan. So he listened. And then he went to Rasulullah, he told the story, right? Rasulullah SAW, huwa kadhub, wa fi hadha wa huwa sadiq. He said, this man, right, is a liar. That means shaitan being a liar. Only in this case, right, he speak the truth. That means, we read at Kursi, shaitan will run away. This is true. Right? So that means, what you call, shaitan and the jinn, they are very weak. Right? Yeah. Just Ayatul Kursi they run. If it's shaitan, but the problem sometimes, man, I read A'udhu Billah, still there, man. I pray, still bothering me. Because we always read with our lips. It's not the work. So everything had to be, we said, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, you have to feel it. That means, Allah, I need you. Protect you from this devil. Then it's work. Because shaitan will laugh at you. A'udhu Billahi Shaitanir Rajim. You not mean it, man. You only say it. That work, right? Yeah, Satan may not feel because Even so, therefore, why? If you want to know that you are close to Allah or not, when somebody possesses, you read it. Because if when you read the same ayah, Satan will not run. Because Satan laugh at you. Because only what you see it in the right? Like one Sahaba, I remember when he looking for in the Eid to buy lamb, he went to the village. The cheap village was bitten by a scorpion, right? And we know people from Medina, hey, our leader, there was a sick, he went to die now. All the body was poisoned. So can you do something? So one Sahaba go inside, right? They read Fatiha. And the people was happy, give him 40 lambs. Was very, and they went to, his friend said, man, I know you know magic, man. I know that you know magic. You are fortunate. No, what did you do? I read Fatiha. Right? So when Rasulullah told the story, Rasulullah, it is okay? Yeah, it's halal. That means, called ruqyah, right? That means Quran can use what? For ruqyah. I still remember when I was maybe 7, 6 years old, something like a fever, and my mom asked me to bring doctor, and my father said, just wait. So he read, I don't know what surah, maybe at Kursi, and I slept. I wake up, okay. And then my father said to my mom, said, just money for doctor, give sadaqah. Right? But here also depend what? Who recited. right? The same light in the aura, if you really you feel it when you read it, not only on your leaf. The same with dhikr. Subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. Something people just target. Subhanallah. You know, something for Asr Fajr. Subhanallah. Right? Subhanallah, subhanallah. Assalamualaikum. Salam, man. Oh, how many already? Because it was target to 30 already. Yeah. So the last ayah, I think this all today. Yeah. So that's Surah Jinn, right? Inshallah. The next one, inshallah, we'll talk about the ayah that the jinn tried to go up, right, to the mountain, to the sky, but he couldn't because there was, just one more ayah. Sorry, one more ayah. وأنهم ظنوا كما ظننتم أن لن يبعث الله أحدا.
And they had thought, as you thought, that Allah would never send anyone as a messenger. It is an aspect of God's grace that He has willed to help mankind by sending them messengers to promote goodness in their natures and to enhance their tendency to follow guidance. There are no grounds, then, for thinking that God would not be sending any messengers.
And they had thought as you thought, right? Who's you here? The Quraysh, right? Or the jinn talk to other jinn, right? That Allah will never send anyone as messenger. Another explanation here, Yab'athu mean that like, and that thought, like you thought that you were not resurrected. You will not stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what? There's no day judgment. Right? Yeah. So this is until ayah 7, Allah described discussion between jinn and the other jinn. The jinn who listen Quran, and then they describe what their belief is wrong and so on and so on. Right? So the next one, we'll talk about jinn. وَأَنَّا لَمَسْنَا السَّمَاءَ. He said, man, what's going on? We try to go to the heaven to listen. You know, we have in the world called magician, fortune teller, right? And sometimes they ask about, for example, father, you know, and somebody, father, you know, he was born with this. He mentioned about something nobody know except father or his family. I said, how did you know that? Right? Yeah, that's come from the jinn or from shaitan something. But he said, now everything they go up, what do you call? We couldn't, because the heaven is protected, right? Then we talk about the different type of jinn Muslim, you know, and the story if somebody possessed, how to deal with it. Yeah. So inshallah we'll continue next week. Any questions, inshallah, before we close?
Assalamualaikum, Ustaz. I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good.
Yeah, thank you, Ustaz. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala give ability to certain person to feel the presence of jinn, right? Or even that person can communicate with jinn. Is that correct, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So my case is like this. My daughter now lives in campus, so in a dorm, right? So that dorm is probably close to 200 years old. It's very old, even though it's clean, but it's old building. So last fall when we drove her, that person said that they can feel the presence of jinns in that building, and especially my daughter's room is very close with the bathroom, things like that, right? And then she told me now after several months, or almost a year now, living in that campus, she said that nowadays she easily get feeling sad or disoriented, things like that, right? So I was thinking that maybe she is possessed by jinn, jinn with that type of behaviors. I don't know if that's true or not, right? So how do we check if she's get possessed by jinn from that building? And then if so, then how we can help her?
Is it he feel it when on in that campus or also outside campus?
So far within the campus. Yeah, like yesterday, she was in the crowd with her friends, a lot of people, but all of a sudden she feels like really sad, feels lonely, disoriented, something like that, and she just cry like that.
In the campus, right?
Yeah.
But if she come home, you don't feel that.
We'll check it again. Inshallah, next week she will be home here in Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is true, some area, some place, some room could be place for them, for jinn and so on. He said that if there is, if you have house, you have many rooms, and one room always empty, maybe for 6 months, 1 year, then this kind of creation, jinn or shaitan, will stay there. So that means don't make any room empty.
Okay.
Right? The same also like in the case of in my father-in-law house, they have well, empty well. So the jinn stay there. And then when they build a house and they cover that, the jinn something bothering them. But anyway, it is some places, some houses. I know I went to somebody's house, he bought the house and then he felt something into the house, right? It could be. But to determine, it is jinn or shaitan, had to be expert. Had to bring somebody that know about jinn. Like for example, we have Sheikh Amin here. Sheikh Amin is dealing with the kind of, because dealing with jinn like a doctor also. Doctor, before he determine it is what kind of sickness, he had to analyze the urine, the blood. The same with this also, and also some jinn possess go inside. Some is just, be always people can see. But also some places, sometimes a timing, like for example, mostly after Asr, in some room, a few days ago, the sister came to me and he said that I stay next to my daughter. In everything I go to that room, I heard something, right? And we found out this is true, right? But in the same time, remember that it depends on us. If you are strong, if you are scared, then the jinn happy. They will play with us more. Because we never see a strong Muslim man. But also some jinn, they love somebody. Some jinn like love baby. I remember that baby for crying for 24 hours. This bothering babies. And maybe a good person, but the jinn fall in love or like to stay with that person. But then if the person is strong, the iman is strong, and he recites certain ayah, the jinn. So therefore, once Rasulullah asked us before you sleep, to read certain surah, certain ayah, make certain dhikr. That's also in dealing with that, right? But to know for sure, if you have in your house, in your room, you have to call somebody, who can deal with that. Yeah. It is true, some people sometimes have capability to not see them in original one, but when the jinn, some jinn sometimes like to appear in the front of something, right? So therefore, it is very important that if your children see something strange, don't try to scare them, right? I remember a story of mother, I think her daughter looked like can see that something. So when they crossed the window, mommy, I saw, little guy was like this. The mother very good, just say bye-bye, right? They say, hey, no, this jinn, come on, right? That's what the jinn wanted, to scare you, right? Yeah. Also, it's like he said that how the jinn possess something is depend on your status. If you are depressed, stressed, that's very easy for them to come. Or too happy, overwhelming, right? As question here is are aliens is considered jinn in Islam, right? It depends. Alien also in the Quran mentioned that in many planet or many what you call heaven, there's certain type of Allah creation, and who are they? We don't know, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said Allah able to join them together, but we don't know, right? I think jinn and this alien is different, right? Jinn is okay. Two people something different opinion. Some people said jinn not exist. Some put jinn too much. Look like very powerful. Jinn can know everything. Jinn didn't know everything. Remember Sulaiman alayhis salam when he built the palace, right? And Sulaiman was watching like this with his stick like this. And Sulaiman died already for 80 days ago. Right? The Quran said, right? No one know he was dead. Illa dabba. Allah said dabba. Small insect that eating his stick, right? When he fall down, Jinn said, oh man, if I know he died already, why I have to tie it? Making him. So Jinn didn't know what the answer, right? This is very important. So therefore, why every day when we pray, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. You don't have to anybody. Right? Yeah. I hope you answered your question, right?
Yeah, thank you, Ustad.
You're welcome, inshallah. Let me go, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, ya Rabbana laka hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa qina adhaban nar. Allahumma hina al-islam wa sunnah wa tawaffana al-iman wa tawbah. Allahumma shfi mardana wa marda al-muslimin. Allahumma ya rabban nas rabbal basi ishfi anta shafi shifaan la yughadiru saqam. You make dua, inshallah. Some people are affected with COVID, right? Many of our brothers and sisters. May Allah give them shifa. May Allah protect them, inshallah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Amin. Jazakallah khair, Pak Joban.
Baik, see you next week.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Jazakallah khairan Pak Joban.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.